Hi everyone, today we're going to be going through a bit of a new series that I'm going to start doing, and it's going to be analysing each of the individual Senate races that we're going to be looking at in 2020. The first one is actually a viewer-suggested video, and that kind of gave me the idea to do this whole series. Analyzing each individual Senate race and then just taking into account many factors such as the polling data, approval ratings, the fundraising of each of the candidates, and we'll finish off by just taking a quick look at each of these candidates' websites for their campaign. So this will be an ongoing format that I'm going to use for these 2020 Senate races. So yeah, let's get right into it. So right now, I see there being about 44 seats that I would consider to be pretty solidly safe to go towards the Democratic Party, and 43 seats that are solidly safe to go towards the Republican Party. So we're pretty much at an even slate here. Right now, the Democrats are at 44, Republicans are at 43, 13 races that I deem to be competitive. Those being Arizona. In this order, okay, it's Arizona, Colorado, Montana, Kansas, Texas, Iowa, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, Kentucky, Michigan, New Hampshire, and the state of Maine. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. So, as for the state of Arizona, the polling data that has been conducted in this state, there's been two polls, both of which have been done by OH Predictive Insights. I assume that's Ohio Predictive Insights. So we're going to take a look at the most recent poll that was conducted here. Ohio Predictive Insights. Going into the, Okay, so here. This is what we need. Okay, if the US Senate race were held today, which of the following candidates would you most likely vote for? Democrat Mark Kelly, right now at 44%. Republican Martha McSally at 45%. We can see here Mark Kelly narrowly holds the lead among female voters. Martha McSally holding the lead among male voters. As for age, those who are, it's actually not much of an age difference. Those who are younger, they're tied, and then those who are older narrowly support Miss McSally. No surprise here, Democrats obviously overwhelmingly supportive of Kelly over McSally. Same thing for Republicans. If we look at this independent vote, that's key. Martha McSally right now leading by 1 point among those independent voters. As for the regions, the Democratic area of Maricopa County, Mark Kelly leading there, but then in some of these other areas, Martha McSally has the lead. So that is the end of that poll. But overall, we can still see it might not look good for Mark Kelly right now being behind, but when we wait for this to load, we can see that Martha McSally right now at 46% and 45%. That tells me that a lot of people don't know who Mark Kelly is, and she does not have this in the bag. McSally does not have this in the bag. If she's getting 45% support, there's still a lot of undecided voters in this race, and so yeah, that's the polling data. I wouldn't take it too much. Obviously, it is a consideration, but it's still very far out for many of these polls to be conducted. In fact, if we go and have a look at the Arizona Senate race in 2016, if it's going to load, in 2018, we will just wait for that to load. Okay, so as for the approval rating right now, Martha McSally, 40% approval, 37% disapproval. That's not all that good for someone like a Republican in a seat like Arizona. So yeah, Martha McSally, 40% to 37% disapprove. So not great for the incumbent senator. If look at this, this is also from the same poll, OH Predictive Insights. Martha McSally right now, her approval 24% to 27%. This is very favorable, somewhat favorable, and then somewhat unfavorable is 19. Very unfavorable is right now at this point in time at 21%. So that's a total of 40% of I guess unfavorable opinions, and then obviously you have 51% of favorable opinions. And then, but as for Mark Kelly, we can see that a lot of people still don't know who he is, and so that's something to take in mind when you're taking into account these approval ratings, and the fact that his current favorables are already 24%. He already has more very favorable people than somewhat unfavorable and very unfavorable combined. So that is something to take into account. And so, yeah, plus 22 net favorable, McSally at plus 11. And yeah, so it's definitely interesting to look at that poll. Now, another indicator of the result of a Senate race is money. So 538 have just released an article saying Democrats are winning the fundraising race in the Senate. They've provided this chart that says that in total the Democrat here raised 8.4 million, Republican there 4.9 million. So that's not great news in the total amount. And then there's further proof from this article from AZ Central saying that Mark Kelly raised 4.2 million during just the second quarter. That this chart says like the whole thing. In his entire time, he's raised 8.4. Martha McSally at 4.9. In just the second quarter, Kelly has raised 4.2. McSally has raised, it says here 3.4 million. So not all that great news for someone like a Martha McSally being behind compared to Mark Kelly, especially considering Mark Kelly is still not very well known across the state of Arizona. Okay. So that is the fundraising, so you can probably kind of tell where we are right now. It's looking pretty favorable for Mark Kelly to go on and win, but just as a quick look, this is both of the candidates' websites. So Mark Kelly for U.S. Senate, I guess his slogan is "The mission comes first." He is not taking corporate PACs. You can see this cool little International Space Station tracker, which is cool, and then there's just some general campaign updates. So Mark Kelly not taking corporate PAC money, and then if we look at Martha McSally's website, will you stand with Martha McSally? Stuff like that. Connect with Martha in the news. So she has some press releases there. So a pretty basic website there. So yeah, that's just a quick look at both of their websites. I don't know if people are interested in doing that in the future, but yeah. So at the end of the day, we see at this point in time, this one narrowly moving into the Mark Kelly column. Even though yes, the polls do have him down by a little bit now, it's still very far out. Polls can change. And again, he's still not very well known across the state. So we're going to give, and obviously name recognition is not a very big factor when you're looking at a statewide, when you're like in the general election. It is a factor in primaries, but once you're on the debates and you're on the state news, name recognition is not as important when you're looking at something like that. So that's it for today's video, guys. 45 Democrats right now, 43 Republicans in the Senate, 12 races still to be decided. Thank you for watching this video. Comment down your suggestions below, and good night. Thank you.